Gentlemen, today we're showing you the top 10 turnoffs for women that you need to avoid. If you've done everything right with a girl, there will come a point where it seems like you can do nothing wrong, where it seems like no matter what you do, she's going to like anything that you're about. But guys, even when things are going good, especially when things are going good, there are plenty of seemingly harmless everyday things that you can do that will either slowly get under a woman's skin and make her lose interest, or just flat out kill the chemistry in the blink of an eye. So to help you out, we're showing you the top 10 turnoffs for guys that tend to slip through the cracks. And because we want you to know how to take your game to the next level, we're also showing you the number one thing that you can easily do to almost completely avoid turning a girl off. Let's jump into it. Number 10, low volume facial hair. One of the biggest understatements of the year here, facial hair has made a pretty big comeback. For a while, as in for a few decades, being clean cut and shaven was more or less the norm. But these days, facial hair is everywhere. As soon as a guy can grow it, boom, no going back. Full beards, 5 o'clock shadows, mustaches, mutton chops, if it grows on your face, guys are trying it out. Nobody really knows what led to the beard revolution over the last decade or so. But there is one unfortunate side effect. A lot of guys are going for beards when it's just not in the cards for them. We know facial hair is cool, and even if you want it most of the time, it's nice to have the option. While of course it's your facial hair, your choice, when it comes to turning on girls, patchy facial hair typically doesn't do it for them. And almost always, they're going to prefer a clean shaven face to get close to. Number 9, greasy hair. Alright. You're probably hearing this and thinking, wait a minute, I know, I've seen guys with greasy hair get girls. So how are you going to tell me that greasy hair is a turnoff? Alright, true, but what you might think is hair grease is actually hair product. And if it's product, yeah, it's probably part of their style. But what we're talking about today is about the naturally occurring grease that builds up in your hair after not showering. For some dudes, that grease may show up after a couple of days without washing their hair. For others, it might show up after a couple of hours. Like sweat and body odor, hair grease is largely genetic, and unfortunately, it's something that girls will notice when they're looking at you closely. Number 8, ratty underwear. This one should go without saying, but our reports show us that a surprisingly high number of guys out there appear to be pushing their underwear to the limit, and girls are noticing. For some reason, a lot of guys seem to have the impression that girls won't catch that pair of ratty old boxers that they've got on. And it's either because they think their underwear isn't all that bad, or just because they think that girls don't care. But either way, your underwear matters. You may even know today's video sponsor, Tanny Underwear. Super high quality and universally girl approved. Tanny has designed underwear that solves the problems plaguing your underwear drawer and how girls look at your chonies. Now, instead of showing you a bunch of dudes in underwear, which we're sure you'd love, how about we show you how the right type of underwear, like Tanny, keeps girls from ever being turned off by the sight of your boxers. Reason number 1, breathability. When it comes to your underwear, breathability is everything. The reason why? Because moisture is not only what causes gross stuff like odor and fungus, but it's also ultimately what causes boxers to dissolve into shreds on your floor. And not only that, swamp ass, as it's officially called, is the result of underwear that offers no breathability in an area that produces a lot of sweat. And for girls who see this on a guy, it can be pretty hard to ignore. By using micromodal air, a futuristic fabric that's both moisture wicking and quick drying, Tanny's Silk Cut collection manages to keep the moisture levels to a minimum and the infamous swamp butt at bay. Reason number 2, accentuation. Do you like when a girl wears sexy, attractive lingerie? Of course you do. And women want the same thing. She wants to see something that's naturally accentuating and attractive, rather than saggy underwear that looks like you're wearing a cloth diaper. See, high quality underwear, like Tanny, are designed to not only make you and your body look attractive, but they're also manufactured with special materials like elastane and micromodal air so that they last longer and hold their shape longer. In short guys, your underwear is probably the last thing that a girl sees you wearing, so it definitely needs to make the right impression. And today's video sponsor, Tanny, is the exact type of underwear that women love. Tanny was even kind enough to hook Mantelligence viewers up with a crazy deal. Buy one, get one free. Check it out in the description and note it will only work for a very limited time. Number 7, the wrong thing playing in the background. In general, one of the major differences between guys and girls is that context plays a huge role in their attraction and overall interest in a guy. If this sounds surprising, this phenomenon is pretty well documented and understood in psychology. While women do like guys who are classically good looking and well taken care of, the overall presentation of a guy plays a much bigger role in how girls perceive him. And that also includes the immediate context of being in the moment with a guy. One of the places this becomes especially clear is if you're hanging out with a girl at your house watching a movie or a show. If you've got a comedy, horror, action, or anything too distracting playing in the background, it's going to be a lot harder for her to look at you romantically if anything starts to happen. The reason why is simple, because your entire presentation is off, which makes sense, right? Look, all we're trying to say is that if you're watching a movie or show on the couch together, always be ready to hit that pause button. Number 6, smelling like a gym bag. You knew this one was coming. Just about everybody from Alpha M to TMF to Base Zeus has discussed widely the importance of not smelling like an armpit. And the reason for that is because far and away, a guy who smells bad from a distance is a huge red flag for women. Now, there are some excuses that girls will let slide. You may have just gotten done working out, you could have been helping a friend move all day, or you could be a sailor returning home from sea. Basically, if you've engaged in heavy physical activity, you'll probably get a pass, at least for the first 2 times. However, if you're caught repeatedly stinking for no reason, don't be surprised if she starts asking you to shower before you come over. Guys, if you're a subscriber, keep watching, because at the end of this video, we're going to show you the number 1 thing that you can do to easily prevent turning any and all women off. So stay with us, you don't want to miss it. Okay, let's get back into it. Number 5, all grooming, all the time. Alright, so you guys know that we always advocate proper grooming, taking care of yourself, knowing how to dress, and that it's always safe to look after your appearance. But we also know, with the sheer volume of information, opinion, and choices out there, it's incredibly easy to get carried away in the details and get obsessed with looking good. Now, while your girl does want you to be able to look good, if you're taking longer to decide what to wear than she is every day, your impeccable style is probably having the opposite effect of what you want. Number 4, disgusting nails. So you may think that this isn't a big deal, but a girl almost definitely notices how your nails are looking. And even though you probably don't roll around with fingernails that can take out an eye, they are 100% a detail worth keeping in check. And it's pretty clear to see why they might be a major turnoff for women. They look crazy, they hide bacteria, and worst of all, they scratch. And you might not have had the misfortune of accidentally scratching a girl with a finger or toenails that are overdue for trimming, but take our word for it, it's embarrassing. And as far as your night goes, there's basically no coming back from that. While long, unsightly nails are an eyesore for sure, there might be nothing that kills the mood so swiftly as accidentally snagging your girl with a toenail that's too long. Number 3, why so serious? Here's a common scenario. Imagine you've been hanging out with a girl all night, and while things might have started off alright, they've slowly faded until it seems like she just kinda wants to go home. And I'm sure you can imagine, this is something that happens a lot. And while there are endless reasons why a date can fizzle, one of the most common reasons is because the guy didn't look like he was having any fun. See, girls are magnetized by fun, so if a guy doesn't seem like he's enjoying himself, a girl's most likely not going to want to hang out for too long. Because like you, like your friends, like everyone else, girls need feedback to let them know that everything is cool. So if you're hanging out with a girl and wondering why it doesn't seem like she's enjoying herself, there's a good chance that it's probably because you're just not smiling enough for her to know. Number 2, failing to mirror body language. Just like you're wired to respond to what she's throwing your way, she's going to respond to what you're sending hers. And you've probably heard us talk about mirroring before. Basically, the mirroring we're talking about is where 2 people are communicating while also subtly copying each other's body language. Mirroring happens on an almost entirely instinctive level, and it's a way of subconsciously building familiarity. Animals do it, and so do we. But even though it happens with us barely even noticing, it still has a huge effect on chemistry. So much so, in fact, that if you're not mirroring a girl's body language, she'll have every reason to think you're not into her, which could unfortunately lead to her turning off feelings that she has for you. Number 1, your teeth. If there's one thing, one loose end, one last remaining detail that can come back and bite you just as you've gotten the girl comfortable, it's yellow teeth. Honestly, this one stings a little bit, because usually the way girls find out that a guy has yellow teeth is if the guy is laughing, smiling, or generally having a good time. It's a harsh reality. And it's always in that moment, when a dude finally decides to let his guard down and relax, that a girl notices, damn, those teeth are just a little on the yellow side. With all the teeth whitening options out there, yellow teeth don't need to be something that you've got to worry about. The bad news is that if you're just finding out about this, you might have lost a few points with a few girls already. The number 1 thing you can do to prevent turning off all women. We get it. By this point, you might be thinking you're just walking into a minefield the next time you go and hang out with a girl. And while it's remarkably easy to lose favor with a girl you like and take her from feeling it to turned off, there is one thing that you can do every day to always have a leg up with the girl. Get in shape. Seriously. Now, we know, this isn't as easy for some guys as it is for others, but for a lot of guys out there, a ton of their problems would be solved just by getting strong. The reason why? Honestly, it's not that you'll look better, and it's not that you'll be stronger. It's almost 100% due to the fact that exercise is guaranteed the clearest path to becoming a fundamentally more confident version of yourself, which is without a doubt the #1 realest turn on for women anywhere you go. Gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to let us know and give it a thumbs up. And please don't forget to click and subscribe. And while you're here, why not check out these other powerful videos? The one on the top is one that's been hand selected for you, and the one on the bottom is one that's currently trending on YouTube. Thanks for watching.